Hello and welcome everybody to Join the League season number 3. It's gonna be the European Division 2, a 2-game series between Chili Willy and Team Cyclones. We are of course HeflaTV, I am Coacher, and I am joined today by Grandis V.
Yeah, for once we don't have two games going on at the same time, so I'm actually able to co-cast now.
Yeah, it's a rare occasion to say the least. But here we are. I mean, I haven't casted too much of the teams. I casted I think one Chili Willy game. Team Cyclones, none of them, so really don't know too much what to expect.
Yeah, I don't know, I've seen them a handful of times, but really not enough to really have like a full impression of how they actually play. And it looks like for now, they're running with some stand-ins, at least on the side of Team Cyclones.
Yeah, it's unfortunately mostly the case. Maybe they are actually full members, but haven't been there for the team long enough to actually have their names changed and whatnot, but hopefully won't affect it too much. But looking at the bands, Chili Willy taking out a Tinker and an Invoker, it must be something team specific, doesn't it? Or otherwise, I mean, Tinker, yes, is a pretty damn annoying hero and extremely strong, but Invoker, is he really first ban material nowadays?
I don't know, I think both heroes against the right team are, but I think it definitely is Team Cyclone specific bans coming out from Chili Willy. So maybe something that I haven't seen from them, maybe just because they have been banned out, but either way, we're not going to see those heroes. The first pick from Team Cyclones is going to be a Brewmaster. They follow up with the Scarred Mage. And on the side of Chili Willy, Tidehunter and Viper are the picks. Nothing too surprising, although Chili Willy have a very tanky front line, even with just the first two pickups, as well as some decent teamfight control with the Tidehunter ultimate, and then the side of Team Cyclones. A lot of damage coming out from those two. The Brewmaster controlling up the teamfights as well as Scarred Mage. With his ultimate, able to burst down targets fairly effectively.
Yeah, I have to say, I was a little bit surprised that Chili Willy just didn't go for that super boring Faceless Void Skyrim combination straight out. I mean, thank God for that, to be honest, but... And of course, Tidehunter is also just an extremely strong hero, as is the Viper, but... At least, for Team Cyclones, they're most likely happy that the Skyrim Mage didn't end in the hands of Chili Willy, because Skyrim is pretty decent as far as just countering a Brewmaster goes.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, it is kind of weird to see how both of these teams approach the draft, because a lot of top tier picks have kind of slipped their way through, and, well, we might be seeing them later on in the second picking stage.
We very well might indeed. And looking at the secondary set of bans, Faceless Void was taken out by Chili Willy, Death Prophet, and a Silencer of all heroes by Team Cyclones. I mean, yes, Silencer of course can counter the Brewmaster as well, but that kind of leads me to believe that Cyclones, they want to go for some more teamfight oriented heroes, maybe even pick up something like an Enigma.
Yeah, I would say that's probably a fair assessment, especially with the Silencer ban. It is good against the Brewmaster, but if it's just the Brewmaster, it's not really the biggest deal. If he gets silenced and just has a delayed impact on the team fights. You won't have him jumping in, for sure, but yeah. I don't know, Silencer just annoying here to deal with the Team Cyclones don't want to have on the pitch. Razor banned out, and well, Chili Willy, I'd assume a Shadow Shaman pick here, and if they don't, Team Cyclones are going to have that available to them and get that Scarred Mage Shadow Shaman combo. But no, Chili Willy take it up for themselves.
Yeah, so Team Cyclones, as far as the more popular supports to go together with Skyref Mage now, Wraith King is available. The roaming duo of Skyref Wraith King is pretty damn potent, as well as Wraith King being able to either just be in the carry role instead of support or transition into one later on in the game. So that's one option for them. If not though, do you have anything in mind? I mean, the first two picks really don't give too much away about their direction, but well, Earthshaker it's gonna be.
Well, Earthshaker, kind of like the Wraith King, at least as far as roaming early on with the Scarred Mage, offers a really nice stun, very potent roaming duo that can get kills around the map. Earthshaker, he doesn't transition as well later on, but still having the Blink Echo Slam is always good to have that instant teamfight initiation and potentially shedding some light on that Silencer ban, as Team Cyclones are going to commit more to their team fight.
You mean Earthshaker, like I said as well, it does work out really good. Just roaming around, especially you can also just roam not to actually get kills so much as to just maybe defend your mid laner. Of course, if it's gonna be a Brewmaster, that hero is just so damn tanky and might not even need it. But of course, it will depend heavily on what Chili Willy will go for as their secondary support, unless they just go for a jungler who really doesn't like roaming, just like an Enigma wants to farm up non-stop. And they are down to 44 seconds after reserve time now, so slowing down the draft a little bit or just as the draft nears its end, it's getting a little bit harder for them as well. Less heroes in the pool, at least less so-called imba or overpowered heroes.
Yep. I don't know, I wouldn't be entirely opposed to Enigma, although it's fairly greedy with the Shadow Shaman and Enigma. Both supports really can't do much on their own, and you wouldn't see the Enigma making rotations that early on, or at least I'd expect to. But if you have two heroes that you're going to leave alone in a lane, Tidehunter and Viper probably some of the best ones to do that with, as Viper and Tidehunter are very self-sufficient laners and don't really need a lot. They'll go for the Sand King instead. I don't know, Sand King, Shadow Shaman really have a hard time getting in range for their disables early on as a roaming duo, and you're probably going to see Shadow Shaman just running the pulling operations and Sand King jungling to get a really fast Blink Dagger at sub 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, those two supports as well, it's going to be maybe a little bit hard for them. Usually, both supports individually are played as the position 4 role, so just rushing their Blink Daggers or just farming up the items. Neither of those really does too extremely well in just the position of 5, completely buying all the wards and whatnot. But Sand King, of course, just has the ability to do jungle, which speeds up the process, and once he gets his Blink Dagger, he can just start picking up wards himself, I guess. Just leave the Shadow Shaman to get his own Blink Dagger, maybe Aghanim Scepter. And overall, just having an extra initiation hero is always going to be nice.
Yeah, I definitely think so, and that's probably how Chili Willy are going to play this around. For at least the early portions of the game, Sand King is going to be the one getting the farm, and then later on he'll probably pick up the slack so that the Shadow Shaman can share in that as well. Shadow Shaman usually gets his gold by getting those tier 1 towers down very early on once he gets his level 6, but until then, unless he has a partner that can really initiate those team fights, or at least the skirmishes in the individual lanes, he can't really do much. If they do want to roam early, it's going to be almost a requirement that they get boots on the Shadow Shaman or the Sand King incredibly early on.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility as now. Team Cyclones, they're about to reveal their 4th pick to us as well. They do have 2 supports already, unless it's going to be something like a Skywrath Mage mid. Or a carry Earthshaker as well, I guess, is a possibility. Don't really see it happening in this game, but at the moment they do need themselves an offlaner. Center Warrunner is available, as is the Clockwork if they wanted to go for that. Clockwork would be some pretty good setup for the Mystic Flare as well, potentially.
With the Brewmaster and Earthshaker also on their team, they don't have a lot of other things to throw into the cogs, but then again, Clockwork and Skywrath Mage definitely a potent duo. And catching out the Shadow Shaman and Sand King while they're on the back lines trying to wait for their initiations with their Blink Daggers could be very important for Team Cyclones. Honestly, this could be a different offlaner altogether. In fact, they'll go for the Nature's Prophet. He can set up for the Skywrath Mage Mystic Flare in a similar way with his Sprout, but at the same token, he's more or less just going to be pushing out the lanes.
Yeah, I mean, Chili Willy at the moment, they don't have the most amount of counter push either. I mean, at least not from a distance. Just Tidehunter, he can go in, Anchor Smash, Sand King, just Burrow Strike, maybe even levels up the Caustic Finale. So Nature Prophet might just have a pretty good time as far as split pushing is concerned. Shouldn't be too afraid of just getting chumped. Of course, if Tidehunter and Sand King both get their Blink Daggers, might become a little bit more difficult, but even so, if he plays it correctly, the split push will just be so extremely annoying against Chili Willy.
Yeah. Not a huge fan of this Nature's Prophet pick, but it's not bad by any means, especially if they can play it well and he commits to the right fights. We'll have to see. The next band coming out from Cyclones is still waiting to come out, and it is going to be a Luna band out by them. Just a really solid carry that could have allowed Chili Willy to 5-man down the towers fairly effectively. Mirana the ban out by Chili Willy themselves. It would have gone very well with the Earthshaker Skywrath Mage in a tri-lane. That could be problematic for Chili Willy. I'm not sure what their 5th pick is going to be, but presumably it's going to be going towards the safe lane. Although, it could also be a mid-hero, but either way, I think it's going to be something... it's going to be farming.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, something like a Morphling is available, or the Gyrocopter, which would be probably 2 of the strongest carries. Gyrocopter, of course, just offers so much AoE. It's decent enough as far as counter push is concerned, just thanks to the Flak Cannon, or maybe just throw down a cooldown if it's a really huge creep wave. But no, we're gonna see a Lifestealer instead. And he's gonna have at least 2 heroes to just carry him, the Tidehunter or the Sand King. And I don't just mind that pick too much, but I think there might have been stronger carries to pick up here.
I don't know, Lifestealer functions very well against Brewmaster, but then again, you do have the silence coming out from Skywrath Mage, so the Rage is not going to be as reliable as you'd like it to be. I don't know, it's going to put a little bit of pressure early on for Chili Willy to make something happen with this Life Stealer pick, because as the game goes on, Team Cyclones, Nature's Prophet Weaver late game is really not something that Chili Willy can contest very well, unless they're ahead.
Yeah, it's... I mean, Lifestealer, I like to see that hero overall, but just as I saw the Weaver coming out after him, I was like, oh man, Lifestealer's not gonna be able to do anything against Weaver. But at least he has the Sand King, Shadow Shaman, and maybe even the Tidehunter with his Ravage to lock down the Weaver. And Weaver, of course, definitely not the tankiest of heroes early on, and Chili Willy should have a decent amount of burst to just deal with him. But we'll see how the lanes as well as just everything works out for either team. But we're in the game now, and to introduce the lineups to you guys, for Cyclones, Team Cyclones, on the Radiant side, OD will be playing on the Weaver, leaving Wee Wombo on the Earthshaker, Vitalik playing the Brewmaster with From Me on the Skywrath Mage, and Acid on the Nature's Prophet.
And on the Dire side, we are going to have Chili Willy with Katora playing on the Viper, Dante playing on the Tidehunter, Matori playing on the Sand King, Ralphie on the Shadow Shaman, and last but not least, Tokasan playing on the Lifestealer.
Man, this Lifestealer set, it's butt ugly to me, man. I have no idea why anybody would want to use it.
I don't know, I'm not sure a Lifestealer set is supposed to be very attractive, so I don't know. It's a well-made set at the very least, although it is fairly atrocious.
I guess the point is true that Lifestealer isn't supposed to be too pretty to begin with.
Yep, I don't know, they're just kind of taking it to another level.
Intimidation factors, maybe.
Definitely. I don't know, if you see that thing popping out of like a Sand King as it blinks on top of you, I'd be pretty freaked out.
That much is for certain indeed, and looks like both teams, they're gonna go on the aggressive at the moment. Do you think either team will actually leave behind an aggressive tri-lane here as well?
I really wouldn't like that move coming out from Chili Willy. I think their heroes, the Shadow Shaman as well as the Sand King, really need the early farm from their own jungle in order to really get online. And I don't think they have the best killing potential. Their range is very lackluster for the disables, and I don't think Cyclones would get caught out. I don't know, it could happen, but I don't think they'll leave an aggressive tri-lane down here. I think it'll just be the solo Tide. But maybe I'm wrong, as Tidehunter's making his way towards top.
Yeah, and they placed down this Observer Ward as well, which is excellent if you're actually expecting to be in a try versus try, just to make sure you know where the Radiant supports are rotating around. But Cyclones themselves looks like they will leave an aggressive tri-lane behind as well. Of course, Earthshaker together with Skywrath Mage, they can just immediately go for a rotation into the mid lane. Viper, yes, he's a tanky hero, but early on, when there's no points in the corrosive skin, he can still be brought down fairly easily. But we'll see if any team just wants to go aggressive early on, and it's gonna be aggressive tri-lanes by both sides.
Yeah, I don't know, in that sense, it might end up working out for Chili Willy. They'll have at least one large camp to deal with. I don't know. I'm not sure how that's going to work out for the Sand King. And honestly, if they get this first blood down here, maybe they'll decide to rotate off, or at least put Matori into his own jungle to get something out of there. I don't know, Tidehunter is going to be in a bit of trouble here if he sticks around, as there's a lot of killing potential in this lane, and I don't know, for now he's just going to run the pulling operations. There's not a whole lot that he's going to do. As the two supports are going to rotate towards mid. They're not under the guise of smoke, but there's no wards either, so Viper might get caught out here. He's currently walking down the ramp. Will he be caught out by a fissure? No, they haven't shown themselves, and for now it's just going to be chill time. Skywrath Mage does have the concussive shot to start us off though.
Yeah, the concussive shot does need some time to actually land first as well. I do believe they want to set up a proper kill. Vitalik might need to get the Thunderclap first.
Open wounds on bottom.
Oh man, can I actually get the kill as well? No, open wounds, it's just not enough at the moment. And you were talking about it as well, as we saw the Sand King and Shadow Shaman being picked up together, that they just cannot get in range. I was really hoping for one of those supports to actually start with boost of speed straight out, but didn't happen, and at the very least they do manage to get Nature's Prophet out of the lane, but it's really a minor positive.
Yeah, I don't know, as they might bump into the Sand King in the river, but for now they're going to rotate both of their supports down bottom. They get a D-ward on the Dire Observer here that's giving them Maroon Vision, which I believe was just recently placed by the Sand King, which is unfortunate for Chili Willy, going to deny them a lot of vision around the map. They only have this one ward, which is currently doing nothing for them, as the supports have not sat down in bottom.
Yeah, and actually Matori might still be in some trouble. The Fisher comes out as well. Is he still in range? Can he get out of it? Yes, he can. But just barely. And he has 0 regeneration as far as health is concerned. So even if he goes mid lane and gets the Burrow Strike, you just might get thunderclapped in the face and die.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be an option for Matori. Looks like he wants to make his way towards top. This is so risky. Like, a thunderclap and a crit will kill him.
Chili at the moment definitely things not going their way. Toka, he should be fine. He has 1 point into rage at least. Eating his way through as well, and nice use of the Quelling Blade. Oh, but the Fisher, they get the block in anyway. Ralphie, can he help at all? The other shot comes out. Rage is used by Toka-san. Now the shackles continue. But everybody's just running away with Toka. That Fisher was absolutely perfect, and a few more right clicks, that's gonna be first blood.
Yeah, unfortunate. The shackles went onto the Earthshaker, although he wanted to focus on the Skywrath Mage. Maybe he would have lived a little bit longer with the Feast regen, but in the end, yeah, just a beautiful block. Although, on my screen, the Fisher was invisible. Hopefully that doesn't persist as... Yep.
Yeah, one can hope so. I mean, I actually thought that he's gonna be able to make it out when he went towards the stairs side of the river. But nope, he just completely blocked off everything, and really nice first blood for them. Chili Willy's aggressive tri-lane. Actually, they already rotate Dante. He's now in the bottom lane on the Tide Hunter, level 4 as well, so should be rather fine. And top lane Toka-san, of course Odie. If it's a 1v1 matchup, Weaver can easily handle the Lifestealer.
No, but it looks like it's not going to be a pure 1v1 matchup. But yeah, in the end, Weaver should have a fine time in this lane, especially with Lifestealer dying early. He has an Orb of Venom, which is nice when you're in a 1v1 situation, but up against a Weaver, not really going to do much against him. And yeah, Weaver just going to Shikuchi forward is actually Brewmaster gets killed on the Shadow Shaman in the mid. Not sure what he's doing there. It looks like he just got fissured, and again, it is invisible, so...
Yeah, it just was a Fisher, Ancient Shield, Thunderclap, and nothing to be done. They were actually following the Shadow Shaman through the river quite some time. They were, of course, on the high ground, so they had vision all the time, and we just... Those slow supports, they're unable to make anything happen so far. Sand King, of course, has started now pulling. I think he stacked something up, or at least tried, but there's even a sentry just preventing the P-Cam from being stacked as it is. So the start for Chili Willy is just definitely not what they were expecting to have.
Yeah, I think the silver lining is that the Viper is doing very well in mid up against the Brewmaster. 24 and 14 compared to 12 and 2 on the Brew. He can be annoying with the Drunken Haze, but that's about it. There's very little he can do about Kitora here in this lane. But
now we do have an actual Thailand versus Thailand as well. As far as levels are concerned, it should be rather even. Actually, it is completely even, but Wombo might be in trouble. Earthshaker, is he gonna get disabled by Ralphie? Or no, the Fisher comes out first onto Toka-san and Matori. Man, just a Weaver coming through with the Sukuchi now. Do they have any sentries? No, Fumi. He gets slowed down. He actually gets taken out as well, but now there's shackles. But a little bit too late, Odie. He's going to go for the kill. One more right click and Toka. He goes down before he gets to deny into the neutrals. But the 1v1, it's not the worst trade unless Ralphie goes down now as well. Sukuchi through a few right clicks. AC joins the fight and make it 4-1.
Yeah, Weaver really thrives in situations where everybody's running away from him, because with Shikuchi he can always bridge that gap and clean up those last few kills, and with the salve also on the Weaver, he's not really going to lose very much from sitting in this lane. Although he's running low on mana, he'll still have enough for 2 Shikuchis. So yeah, this early laning stage coming out from Chili Willy is just not doing it for them, and I kind of touched on it in the draft. They kind of need an early start on most of these heroes. I think if they just went for the more standard lanes and left the defensive tri-lane, at the Sand can get his blink, Lifestealer can be left solo, or with the Shadow Shaman rather, and yeah, I think that would turn out better for them. In the end, Matori is going to go into the jungle. He doesn't have this stacked, but he will start sandstorming away. It's going to not be the fastest jungle that you've seen on a Sand King, but it's at least something.
Yeah, they'll probably take anything they can get at the moment. But one thing that is going their way is the Viper 36, 37 and 19 now even, compared to 15 and 2 on the Brewmaster. I mean, usually when you see the matchup, the Brewmaster holds his own fairly well. But now the slow comes out, the Ancient Seal as well. Can we get in range? Yes, there's the Fisher. Thunderclap to follow. Primal Split used. Kaitoro, he's pretty damn tanky. 4 points into Corrosive Skin. Ralphie comes in, but the Wrath of Nature to bounce around. The Arcane Bolts coming through. They get the kill on Viper. I don't think Shadow Shaman can escape this either, really. Enchant Totem, right clicks, and just bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure they would have gotten the kill on the Viper without the split, but in the end, it gave a double kill the way of the Brewmaster with the TP in from the Shadow Shaman, excuse me. Yeah, just an ill-advised attempt at helping out the Viper. There's very little Shadow Shaman can do, especially when TPing right here. He just got instantly Cyclone and then cleaned up later.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate turn of events all in all. I mean, Tidehunter has his Arcane Boots finished, so also a minor positive for them really at the moment. But, I mean, 6-1, 7 minutes in. Just looking at the scoreboard, it feels like it's horrible so far. Looking at the early graphs as well, it's about a 2000 gold lead and a 1500 XP lead for Cyclones. Of course, the game has just started. I mean, we've yet to see a Ravage or anything like that. The team fight from Chili Willy, if they get their level 6s, if they get their Blink Daggers, is possibly a little bit stronger than Cyclones, but it's so-so as we Wombo together with From It. They get the slow and rapid, but the Shackles are there. Ravage popped, actually connects on 3 heroes. They get one already. They're gonna go for the Earthshaker next. The Fisher is there, but Rage through Tokasan, but Weaver is just dishing out the right click damage and kills 2 anyway. Actually, the lifestealer, he invested into Dante, but he doesn't want to come out because he's gonna die instantly. So they might lose Dante, and the lifestealer, once he comes out after the death of Dante, is gonna go down as well, most likely.
Well, he's doing his best with the Anchor Smash. Now he comes out with the Burrow Strike. They're going to get the return kill on the Nature's Prophet. Will Shikuchi be enough? No, he's going to be forced back. And Matori, he has the Sandstorm. No detection onto the Weaver, so he won't be able to pursue that one. So in the end, well played coming out at the right time. With the backup from the Sand King, they're able to make it at least a trade here up top.
You mean, OD, I think he could have gone a little bit more aggressive as well on the Weaver. Just one extra Sukuchi damage would have brought down the Tidehunter faster. Maybe the Sand King wouldn't have arrived in time like that. I mean, one hero was playing it safe, one hero was just going balls deep, so if both had been on the same page, maybe it would have ended better. Either just not follow up on the kill at all, or just go in with the both of you. But all in all, still, I think a decent enough trade for Cyclones.
Yeah, I would say so. They were still able to I don't know, make the first aggressive move. Although losing Nature's Prophet there isn't ideal. He picks up his Hand of Midas after the phase boots at a decent time at about 8 minutes in. And, well, looking good. It's in mid. We have a little bit of action. The Fisher not going to block off the Viper enough, so we'll be able to walk that one off. Lifestealer currently back in base. Didn't actually see how he got so low. But yeah, that's it for now. Tidehunter is still waiting on his Ravage for 50 seconds.
Yeah, I think the Lifestealer was still low from the previous fight. He hadn't even gone back to base
before.
I see. But, there's a Freeman rotation. Actually, Viper strike up to Vitalik as well, but he doesn't care too much. And the Radiant rotation was spotted out, I think, but they get the slow on Ralphie OD. He's going to just follow through a few right clicks, and when this Shadow Shaman is just fodder, but Matori, he's going to come in, gets the burst strike onto Fromy as well. Should be an easy kill on the Skyref, or actually is it going to be Nature's Prophet to TP in? Matori might be in some trouble, Sprout out onto Dante. Oh man, he gets the Kraken Shell immediately on the Ancient Seal though, but the right clicks, the Weaver bug is still ticking away. I think everybody else is going to make it out, but a 2-for-1 exchange in the end, and Cyclones, they're just taking more and more, and Shadow Shaman, he doesn't even have boots and has only 100 gold.
Yeah, this is one of the saddest Shadow Shamans you're going to see, is he's 1-5-2. At least he's been involved in a couple of kills, but whenever he shows his face, he's just so easy for them to chase down and take out, with long-range initiation coming out from the Fissure, as well as the concussive shot. Just too much damage is down bottom. We have an Anchor Smash Burrow Strike into the Sprout, and they're going to be able to get the kill onto Nature's Prophet fairly easily. Well, yeah, Nature's Prophet just getting caught out after pushing into that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, it's actually really important as well that the Sand King got a kill for it. So, he's actually only 600 gold away from the Blink Dagger. I mean, 11 minutes in, it's not going to be super fast anyway. But they just need it, and they need it bad at the moment. Dante, 1000 away from his own as well, unless he wants to build a mech, which, yeah, it's on Viper anyway already, so it's not looking as bad for Chili Willy, but Brewmaster gets his own Blink, so the initiation power is there already for Cyclones.
Yeah, I'm still pretty concerned for them, although with a Blink on the Sand King, they definitely could turn around a couple of engagements and change that pretty quickly. And yeah, with Nature's Prophet's current build, he has the phase boots and Midas, which is fine and all, but he's not going to be impacting these engagements as much as, I don't know, Nature's Prophet that went for something other than the Midas. Not sure if there's a mech carrier on his team, but if they really wanted to play that aggressive early, maybe going for that would have helped him a little bit more. But for now, they're going to angle more towards the late game with the Midas pickup on him, as well as the Lincolns on the Weaver, who currently has PTs as well as Aquila. He is doing decently well for the current timing in the game as they TP down in bottom, potentially trying to make something happen, but they're fighting up into Ravage. Yeah, interesting. The Sand King still hanging around in the jungle, still trying to farm up his dagger. If he gets killed here, this could be huge, but he'll burst strike away and should be just fine.
Yeah, and actually Skyrife Mage isn't level 6 yet. It's 12 minutes in already, and he's a full level away from it. As just a regeneration rune snatched by the Sun King at the moment. But Skyrife Mage, you just need the level 6 as well. You're gonna be so much more effective once you get it. So it's a little bit slowed down, and with the way the thing started for Cyclones, I would have thought he's gonna get it way faster, but I guess he either died in the team fights as well, or just wasn't present to get the XP from them. But they are pushing the tier 2, and man, oh, the blinking Thundercloak as well. Dante, he's so low already. The box actually will not hit, but it doesn't matter. Wrath of Nature comes through, gets the kill, and now Viper, he's in some trouble. Ancient sealed up, sprouted as well. If only they had a Mystic Prayer right about now. But they still might have enough damage to get the kill. But Frommy, in the meantime, actually Echo Slam used as well. But he goes down, Frommy, trying to make an escape. And looks like everybody kind of ditched the fight, or are just completely at the backside.
Yeah, I don't know, the Brewmaster dove really hard for that kill on the Shadow Shaman. Wasn't able to clean it up in the end, but he'll be able to TP out just fine. I think if they had him focusing on different targets with the rest of his team, that would have gone out for them a little bit better. Yeah. It was a costly defense, but a defense nonetheless, as the tower is at about half health, and it cost them a Dante buyback. He didn't actually use the Ravage after buying back, and although usually a buyback at this point isn't that costly, it is going to delay his Blink Dagger for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, buybacks never are the best things, but the whole mid lane Blink Thunderclap with the Fisher as well. Actually, Viper has the mech, so somehow still alive. But now Nature Prophet TPing in, we'll have the Sprout as well. Actually, the TP out, Enchant Totem, yeah, it's gonna cancel it. And it's gonna be the kill for the Earthshaker. So make it 12-7 now.
Yeah, not really a chance to get out of there alive. Viper. Yep. That is going to be the damage of it, is now the tier 1 tower is going to be pressured a little bit by Cyclones. I think that Chili Willy definitely could defend this if they really want to, and on the dire side, it's definitely something good. As up in top, Weaver is giving a lot of guff to the Lifestealer. But yeah, for now, the tier 1 tower is just going to take a lot of guaranteed damages. Nobody's really coming in. They're TPing in with the Tidehunter. He wants to TP Ravage, but blink away from everybody. It's going to be just fine. At the very least, we will be able to counter push that a little bit.
Do you think actually the Chili Willy maybe should force some fights as they have the Ravage, or... And I guess now with the Blink Dagger on Motori, they can go for it. But I just feel like if you're holding the Ravage on cooldown, or off cooldown rather, for a really long period of time, you're just not benefiting from it at all.
Yeah, I think if they had more backup for the Tidehunter in mid, that would have been a good engagement for them to take, because they were fighting up against a Brewmaster with no split. But yeah, in the end, he couldn't 1v3 that by any means. They definitely need the Lifestealer down there, as well as a couple of others. And the Lifestealer, well, they start with the Burrow Strike onto the Weaver. He's going to be hexed up, but now he's already Shiguching a long-range Shackles on him with the Fisher breaking it up. But they will be able to get the Time Lapse off, and Odie, he's doing a decent amount of damage. Will be back off in the back lines. Oh, the Weaver, he is going to be caught by that Ravage on radiating out, and with the Epicenter, not actually sure where that was going or if it did a lot of damage at all. It doesn't look like it, as it was mostly the Brewmaster clones, but inside the Sprout, they're going to get the Skyrife Mage ulti. Doesn't drop the Viper that low with the max out corrosive skin, but the Echo Slam committed to lock him down. The right click should be enough damage. There's double kill, goes away with Nature's Prophet. He's burning in the Sandstorm. Earthshaker, will he survive? No, with the blink forward and one more auto attack. That will be the end of it. As Zanking still trying to juke his way out of here. The Blink Dagger is going to be cancelled from the high ground. And, well, blink forward. This should be a fairly easy kill. The Thunderclap, actually, no, secured by the Nature's Prophet. Wrath of Nature is ultra kill for Acid here. And the tier 1 tower should be their prize as well. But he gets hexed under the tower. Now shackled into the wards. He's going to lose his life.
Yeah, that was way too balls deep by the Nature Prophet. I mean, the Mass Serpent Wars were still up. And there was only one Treant with like half HP to tank it up to begin with the tower. So, he got a little bit overeager. I mean, if the Nature Prophet hadn't died there, I think the fight would have been pretty well in Cyclone's favor, but now with that kill, Ralphie suddenly, he got 683 gold, some gold that he just needed so desperately, and with this, he almost even has Arcane Boots if he wants to finish them up. I'm not too sure how the kill total was after that fight, but it feels like both teams lost at least 3 heroes.
I think it was 3 for 4. Yeah, Nature's Prophet got all of those kills and then fed away his spree to the Shadow Shaman at the very end. So yeah, I think that is the damage of it as well. The Lifesteal up in top might get caught out. I don't know, this really shouldn't happen. He's gonna go back and, well, no, the TP Sprout, it's gonna catch him out with the Weaver inside the Sprout as well. We'll be able to Quelling Blade through the woods, but it's not going to be enough as the right click should be there, and with the Maelstrom proc as well as the Gemini attack, not a chance.
Yeah, actually the physical damage, I mean, already this early on, the Lifestealer can definitely feel it. I mean, he has 5 base armor, which definitely isn't bad by any means. But Weaver with the Geminate attack, only 1 point into it, but doesn't really care at all. Nature Prophet with the Maelstrom. I mean, Lifestealer, even if his Rage on, he can feel safe at this point in time since they are just so far behind as a team. I mean, he's number 5 in net worth. All the 3 core heroes on Cyclones are surpassing him by quite a huge margin. So, Chili Willy just... The Lifestealer, you mentioned it in the draft as well. He needs to get off to a good start, which just was not the case this game, and so far really hasn't been a factor. I mean, 0-4-4 for him.
Yeah, I don't know, your Lifestealer that's playing from behind really doesn't do that much. He used to be a really top tier pick because he was able to put some pressure in the tri-lane versus tri-lane scenario with adding that open wounds and just being able to play generally aggressive. But yeah, this game it hasn't really shown out for him. They tried going for an aggressive tri-lane that just didn't pan out for them. They didn't have the way to initiate the team fights very well. As the tier 2 tower is going to fall up top with very little contest coming out from Chili Willy, even though they had the Ravage available, just feeling they're not strong enough to jump into that.
Yeah, and actually, Vitalik just missed up on his Thunderclap, but oh, the TP, Kaitoro, can he get it out? Yes, he can. Even the Primal Split was used, but couldn't get it in time for the Boulder Toss or the Cyclone up in the air. So at least one ultimate was used, some TPs as well. They do defend the tower though. And Brewmaster, he just blotched the initiation as well. He Thunderclap before blinking, so... But I guess if they don't mind too much, and they're gonna go for yet another tier 2. I'm hoping Chili Willy can actually, or will come and contest this title. He can pick up the Blink Dagger, which he does now. So they might have what it takes, but they're just gonna be too late.
Yeah, tier 2 tower is already dead. I don't think they could actually defend that one. The top one was more likely defense. Now the mid one is definitely going to be very important for Chili Willy because they're losing their map control. They haven't taken a single tower off the side of Cyclones, and at the moment they just can't do anything. They're kind of bottled up by the enemy team.
But
Is down in
Blink
bottom.
Burst on AC Nature Prophet, he's down immediately. Blink Thunderclap as well, Ralphie. Can you actually escape this? The Ravage comes out, the mech popped, Ralphie is still alive. And actually traps Vitalik, the Shackles up in the Mass Serpent Wards. They might get the kill on Brewmaster, there's no Primal Split, and now the Epicenter comes in onto a almost dead Brewmaster as it was. But this was a really good fight so far. Can they get more Earthshaker TPing out as is from me? So, still 2 kills for them. But Odie, he's at the back lines. He's going for Ralphie. The sentry is down, but Ralphie, does he have enough mana for Hex? No, he doesn't. Burrow Strike, of course, into the Lincoln Sphere, and Odie just got away with murder.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a good initiation by Chili Willy, although they committed pretty much everything, and now their ability to fight for the next couple of seconds or even minute or so is going to be quite delayed with Epicenter as well as Tidehunter Ravage on cooldown. They can't really go into the Roshan pit safely as the enemy team is going to be up before they can do that. So they get a decent trade, and they get 2 cores for their Shadow Shaman, which is good. But in the end, they're not able to get any map objectives off of it.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the graphs at the moment, it's almost a 10k gold lead. Did drop down a little bit after the last fight, but still Cyclones just commanding lead. But XP, actually about like 200 in Chili Willy's favor, so I guess you could say it's zeroed out, and it is slightly surprising.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with the supports on the side of Cyclones. With the Earthshaker not really able to pick up experience that quickly, he's kind of been roaming around with his team, and similar for the Skywrath Mage. But on the side of Chili Willy, they have a Sand King who's been able to jungle and get a little bit of experience that way, so that's kind of where the experience difference is. I mean, your Nature's Prophet and Weaver and Brewmaster are still on the top of the hero level chart.
Yeah, and that's all you need really, your cores to be just farmed, which definitely isn't the case for Chili Willy. I mean, Acid, 11,000 net worth. The next, or not the next highest, but the highest on Chili Willy is 7,000. And actually Nature's Prophet is pretty much doubling the net worth of the Lifestealer, who just has Face Boots, Drums, and an Orb of Venom. And oh, Toka-san might be in trouble. The Blink Thunderclap actually misses. They get the Ancient Seal though. The stun, actually the Mystic Flare completely whiffs. The Fissure is there. But with the Echo Slam and the right click from Vitalik, they ensure the kill.
Yeah, that was a very weird Mystic Flare. Dropped it like square on his unit. I'm not sure what that was about, but in the end, Echo Slam committed. They're able to get the Lifestealer kill pretty straightforward. Not even sure if that was necessary, but they spoke immediately up and potentially go on mid. I think that has been spotted out by the Tidehunter. He is pinging out and everybody's backing off. So Smoke probably not going to catch anybody out, but I don't know, maybe I spoke too soon. We'll have to see. They do have the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker now picked up. At 20 minutes in, it's kind of what you expect from your Earthshaker. He doesn't farm that well. And Sand King, he's in the jungle, and he might get caught out. He has a Blink, and he probably needs to use it pretty soon. He's got a Burrow Strike into the Brewmaster, but in the end, caught out by the Earthshaker, Blink Dagger, and he should die. He's silenced up, nowhere to run, and Earthshaker punches the poor Sand King to death.
Yeah, they're just so much better at the moment. They have more items. The initiation is there for them, double Blink Dagger as well, which is the case for Chili Willy, but they're just not grouped up at the right times, it feels like. I mean, when Cyclones have gone for pushes, like for example, they gave away the tier 1 and the tier 2 top lane for absolutely nothing. Like literally Chili Willy cut nothing while Cyclones pushed for 2 towers, even though they had their ultimates up, so they're just grouping up at weird times and then just spreading out or just running away, but to different sides and not really helping out each other enough. So I don't know, man. It's just looking so bad for Chili Willy.
And while they potentially look for vision as they ping out the Tidehunter in mid, they have the Brewmaster Blinken split available, so they might be able to go very aggressively into this. With starting off with the Fissure, no follow-up initiation from the Brewmaster. He pokes his head in, but in the end just walks away. Yeah. Weaver, he has a Mithril Hammer in his inventory. I pray that this is Desolator, not a BKB. I think Desolator would just do so much in this game, especially in killing the Sand King and Shadow Shaman before they're able to do stuff. And while even the Lifestealer, only at 5 armor, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a BKB, it wouldn't be the worst item in the world against Chili Willy's lineup. If you get caught by, like, Ravage, Epicenter, you're still pretty damn squishy on a Weaver, but I also would love the Desolator. Just peaks the Weaver's damage so incredibly much, and like you said, just completely mow through the squishy supports and Shadow... No, not on Shadow Shaman, but on Chili Willy's side, like the Shadow Shaman. So, I am also rooting for the Desolator more than the BKB.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when you're ahead, there's very little reason to go for the double defensive items on Weaver, and even when you're behind, I think if you go double defensive, you're kind of just going to fall down in effectiveness. I mean, even if he went for BKB, his team would still be able to carry him through, and I think they'd have enough damage as they might be able to find anybody. Oh, with the double Echo Slam, they sure will. They've all put the enchant totem only on one, but the Fissure catches out Dante as well, and it looks like they're going to lose 3. Shadowsham dying first. Scarlet Mage ulti not doing enough damage, but the Arcane Bolt is going to be there. The Viper's still running through this. Is actually Matori going to be able to get the Scarlet Mage. Viper's actually still surviving. The Boulder Shots comes through. They're going to lose the Tidehunter as well as the Sand King on top of that. Didn't actually see where the Sand King died. It was on the backlines of the fight after he jumped in to get the Scarlet Mage kill, but in the end, 1 for 4. Scarlet Mage will take that trade any day.
Yeah, man. And even he just barely died. He got epicentered in the face, and the Sandstorm actually finished him up afterwards. But this fight, and once again, we didn't even see Ravage coming out at all. I mean, I'm not too sure if they thought like that they're trying to back off completely, or... But judging from the Sand King who came in with an epicenter, that's definitely not a move that a team does when you want to back off from a team fight. So, just if the Tidehunter had popped Ravage immediately as they went in there, gotten like 3 heroes caught, might have ended or resulted in a couple more kills for themselves, but didn't go for it, just held on, and at least he has it now for the defense as the tier 3 falls, but will it be enough without the epicenter?
I mean, they have the Ravage available, and they might go into Odie here, but with the defensive Fissure, Ralphie, it looks like he's just going to die. They actually time-lapse forward, and that's a dominating streak for the Shadow Shaman. They get the Ravage on pretty much everybody. His Lifestealer is trying to right-click through this, but it's just not going to be enough. They're killing everybody. Buyback from the Tidehunter, what's that actually going to do? Tokusan trying to get the kill on the Earthshaker with the Infest. He should be able to get that, and in the end, he will, but Odie's cleaning up on the backlines here, and now Matori also going to die. He needs to Shiguchi away from this Viper. His Nature's Prophet still staying strong. Scarlet Mage ulti going to drop through. This is actually a fairly even trade, but an ultra kill for Odie. He's trying to get out of here, and oh no, he might turn. I really don't like this choice. Odie, he's gonna die to one more Anchor Smash if he gets caught. Anchor Smash not gonna be thrown out. The guy's just going to break the Lincoln Sphere. He's under the tower, so it's gonna take a little bit more damage. With Scarlet Mage currently focusing on Dante with the Arcane Bolt and a couple more right clicks. It's going to be enough buyback from Nature's Prophet. He wants to take this Rax, and the melee barracks not looking too healthy. Below half, and Serpent Wards are committed to try to defend up against this, but will it be enough at the end of the day? Desolator picked up by the Weaver. He can't get back into this engagement. What a weird fight. Very spread out and messy. In the end, Barracks defended.
Well, but for how long? I mean, Mass Serpent was used, melee barracks, they are healing up slowly, but I think by the time they reach like half HP, Cyclones, when they're with the Brewmaster up, they might just come again. I mean, they don't really need the Echo Slam. It's gonna come off cooldown anyway, but even without that, they're just so far ahead that they could easily take a fight without it. So I just think that it was really delaying the inevitable from Chili Willy, but of course, if you're looking at that from their perspective, they're like, yes, we defended, we held on, we're buying just time for maybe some big items. At the moment, they're just not getting a Lifestealer. He's picked up a Hand of Midas. I didn't even notice when he picked it up, but it must have been a really late one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is the wrong choice. They're going to be pushed immediately, and the items are already up for Cyclones. They have a Mjolnir on the Nature's Prophet as well as the BKB. He's just able to man-fight as they look for Fissure on the Lifestealer. He might get caught out here with the Weaver and the Desolator. He's going to be forced to rage and run away. But yeah, As I said, Weaver is pretty much completely online. Lincoln's Desolator at 25 minutes in, or thereabouts. That's pretty much what you want your Weaver to have, and he's leaps and bounds ahead of anything on the side of Chili Willy. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Aghanim Scepter on the Brewmaster as well.
Yeah, man, just looking at the graphs now, it's... Oh, actually, Blink Thunderclap, they go into Kaitor, they get the stun as well, Primal Split is used, and Kaitor is so low already, mech or not. The Weaver just completely makes mincemeat out of him with the Desolator, and Ralphie now might get chased down as well. 2 right clicks from the Weaver, just finish up the kill, godlike for Odie, and they're gonna go for Tokasan. He gets the Infest, but comes out immediately raged up, but once again, Weaver's right click is a little bit too much, and the last one, that Sukuchi damage, man, not Sukuchi, the Cheminate attack, but Matori. Gonna get silenced up, fissured up as well. He's gonna go down. The Ravage is actually there from Dante. They might buy some time. They get the kill on from me, but they're probably gonna lose 2 for it. He gets stunned up into the Lincoln Sphere though. And will they chase down Dante? Blink Thunderclap and Rampage. Oh man. 27.
Yeah, they could do nothing about that Weaver in that last engagement. The Shadow Storm literally got 2-shotted. But I don't know, that's only game 1 of the best of 2 series. Let's see if Chili Willy are going to be able to make a comeback game 2.
Yeah, definitely they have the ability to do so. Just maybe next time go for standard lanes, pick up a standard carrier. If not, like we mentioned, just standard lanes for them. Don't go for anything crazy. Play your own game, but we'll see how well it goes for them. But yes, guys, game number 2 is just around the corner, and we're not gonna waste any time here. We're gonna head straight into it. So hopefully you'll stay tuned, and if you enjoyed, be sure to follow us on all the links below the stream, our social media, as well as the Twitch channels. But of course, thanks to GrandyCB for casting with me, and see you in game 2.